Fear. It is the most powerful tool of control. Two governments, two eras, two countries, one shared objective: to exclude, mark, and make a population group disappear. We are talking about ICE in the USA and the Nazi persecution of Jews. A direct comparison is historically irresponsible. But when we look at the methods of exclusion, alarming parallels emerge in the mechanics of persecution. Nazi Germany. The Nazis created the racist ideology of the subhuman. The Jewish population was portrayed as an alien element and an existential threat to the German race. Key phrases: racial hygiene, corrosive influence. The Nuremberg Laws of 1935 institutionalized this exclusion, systematically stripping Jews of their civil rights. In recent US politics, we see rhetoric that labels migrants, often implicitly of Latin American origin, as illegal aliens or criminal threats. The government criminalizes an entire group. The result: instead of discussing immigration, we talk about national security and the hunt for criminals, even when most arrested individuals have no criminal record. Nazi Germany. The boycott of Jewish businesses in 1933 and the pogroms, especially Kristallnacht in 1938, were acts of terror that let everyone in the country know, you are fair game. The violence was sudden, unexpected, and targeted the innocent. This created immense pressure to flee, which initially pleased the Nazis. USA ICE policy. Critics condemn ICE agents for raids in workplaces, near schools or churches. This tactic tears families apart and forces migrants to live in constant fear of leaving their homes. A climate of hysteria prevails, crippling communities. The fear that a spouse or parent might be arrested keeps people in isolation. Nazi Germany. The Aryanization of Jewish assets was a gigantic, state-organized plunder. Jewish property, homes, art, everything was confiscated. Forced labor in concentration camps exploited the persecuted until death. The Nazi system profited directly and massively from the expulsion. USA Charter ICE policy. A large portion of ICE detention facilities are operated by private corporations. This means incarceration is a business model. More arrests lead to more profit. Critics speak of incentives for mass detention and inhumane conditions, such as lack of medical care, in these private prisons. We must never forget one thing. The Nazi regime developed its apparatus of persecution toward the final solution: the industrial and systematic mass murder of 6 million Jews and millions of other victims. This is the absolute, incomparable boundary that separates the Holocaust from every other form of state exclusion. ICE is part of a legal system aimed at deportation, but the Nazi goal was annihilation. The parallels in the mechanics, the dehumanization, the arbitrary fear, the profit from exclusion, are an urgent warning. They show how easily democratic principles can be eroded once a group is marked as the enemy. History teaches us that we must stop the beginnings of exclusion before the mechanism becomes unstoppable. Thank you for watching this difficult but necessary comparison. If this video gave you new perspective on how exclusion begins, please hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive into history and current events. Your support helps us to keep asking these tough questions. Thank you, and see you next time.